Greetings, I'm Dustin Boleski, and welcome to a very spooky edition of SVTV, being broadcast to you from Seaman High School. Tonight, our investigative reporters have gone out to get the scoop on some very scary stories. You will also be seeing a short, scary film and hearing about some myths that we'll try to debunk. We will lead off tonight with Nathan Tennant and Christian Gomez, who have traveled to Lawrence to investigate the supposedly haunted Eldridge Hotel. Let's see what they found out.
The Eldridge Hotel is located in the heart of the beloved city of Lawrence, Kansas, where the city's motto is, "From ashes to immortality." This is especially true to the Eldridge as it has been burnt down numerous times in its past. Colonel Shaler Eldridge first built the hotel, and it is said that he has haunted the hotel ever since his death in 1899. The fifth floor of the hotel is supposed to be the most haunted, especially in room 506, where witnesses reported seeing breath marks on recently cleaned mirrors, doors opening and shutting on their own, and lights turning on and off by themselves. Here we talk to hotel employee Courtney Baird about the hotel.
I work at the front desk pretty much Monday through Friday, and I had never heard stories of anything happening with the elevator. And I've been here about 6 months, and twice on 2 separate occasions I've seen the elevator go straight up to the 5th floor and then come down and open with no one inside it, close and go up to the 5th floor and stay up there. Our elevator stays down on the 1st floor. It's very odd to me that it does that because it's programmed to stay down on the lobby level. So to have it go up there and stay on the 5th floor with no one pressing it, it's a very odd thing. 5th floor being our haunted floor kind of makes us think that there's something going on with it, and it's happened twice, which is really creepy to me. So I'm sitting there on my own, and just all of a sudden, because it dings when it opens and no one comes out, and I always wait for it to go up to the 5th, and it does. So it's not pleasant to watch that. Okay, 506 is funny. We had actually some ladies from Topeka come and do they called ghost tours of Topeka. They came and did a ghost tour here, and she's like a supernatural lady, and I walked up there with her on the 5th floor. She walked past, she goes, "Oh, I feel something," and she got to 506 and she goes, "It's gone." And we were all like, "What?" And she didn't know about 506, so that kind of freaked me out. But in general, the 5th floor is probably like our most populated floor. Like, people always want to be up there. And that's where like the majority of the stories come from. Like, I really never heard anyone, 406, I had one person directly underneath 506, the haunted room, say he was like, "I felt someone just creeping me out, like I felt like I was being watched when I slept." And I was like, "Oh, that's a lot." He was like, "I couldn't sleep because of it." So other than that, all the stories have been on the 5th floor, not the 4th. So the Big 6 room, actually the Big 6 room creeps me out more than any part of the hotel because it's so like cold and dark down there, and the fact that I know that there's a swimming pool underneath that thing creeps me out. I feel like there's like dead bodies under there or something. But it's just kind of, it's dark and eerie down there. And then like the crystal chandeliers in the ballroom like always shake. It's an old hotel, so that could be to maintenance issues, but when those shake, or like that sign that you film down there, it sways. Yeah. The candles up there have never been lit. They're purely for decoration. Our night auditor Bo works the 11 to 7 shift. Make the 11 to 7 shift, and then I come in at 7 in the morning. And also my room's division manager Ryan comes in at 7, who's worked here the longest. He's worked here 7 years, and the majority of those stories I gave you are things that he's experienced or heard about over 7 years. And we came in and both candles were lit, and it was very odd to us. They were out about 20 minutes later. We didn't put them out, and they've never been lit since. And our night auditor Bo swears to us no one was in the lobby overnight. He sits there all night. He said, "I left a couple of times to go up and assist people in rooms." He said, but like, because we walked in and noticed it, he didn't tell us they were lit. I was like, "Did you light the candles?" And he was like, "What?" So yeah, that was creepy too. And the fact that it's right next to his picture scares me. In 1989, those people in the picture came here to honeymoon for their wedding. They were actually married in a crystal ballroom, and they were sitting there the day they left. I think you can see their luggage sitting right next to them, and they were like, okay, let's just take a picture. It was around Christmas time, and when they took the picture, the elevator opened again with no one in it except for that ghastly figure, and then they took it. I think they were afraid. They sent it back to us and were like, you know, we heard stories about your hotel, we wanted to send you back this. And that's the only photo that's ever been sent to us. But yeah, they sent it back to us like, you think this was pretty creepy, so we put it out. We keep it at the front desk. We have people request to see it, like know about it. People call and ask, request to stay in 506. Like 506 was checked out for Halloween a year before in advance. Like, people are crazy about it in this town. They like really get into it.
Even though there are all these stories about hauntings at the Eldridge Hotel, no one can say for sure if it really is haunted. But if you ever are curious, just go to the Eldridge on Mass Street in Lawrence and find out for yourself.
Wow, sounds like a pretty creepy place to me. Next we will take you to Rochester Cemetery, where two of our reporters got an inside look on the story of that albino lady.
You have heard the story of ghostly musicians. You've even heard of the goofy story of the suitcase throwing ghost. But one of the most famous ghost stories of North Topeka is the albino lady of Rochester Cemetery. For a little more background information, we interviewed Kathy Ramirez, a tour guide on Haunted Topeka Tours.
I think what's important to note on my research is that I have actually talked to the native North Topekans, born and raised, had encounters with the living albino lady. She did exist. She was a real person, and she lived in North Topeka. The people I have talked to said she was a servant in a two-story house near Rochester Cemetery for a while, and there's also been people who told me that she worked at a duck walls briefly. She is as people described. When she was alive, she had white wiry hair, blazing pink eyes, and the very stark white skin. She was a true living person, and a lot of people were kind of put off by her appearance because of that.
Even with this story, many are still non-believers. Even one particular groundskeeper is a non-believer.
No, I say she is not real. Well, they tell me maybe they've seen some lights flashing on something like this situation.
Many North Topekans grew up with this story. One such person is Gayla Koppel, a para at Northern Hills Junior High.
Kind of started out as, as a kid, as a scary story that you told, and I kind of I read vampire books, werewolf books. I mean, that's just kind of what I like to read. That's my genre of what I read. So I guess that kind of started as a kid, and I found it interesting because I had cousins that lived in St. Louis, and they had a Hookman story, and then when we were kids, we kind of had this Hookman story. So then I was like, well, do you guys have an albino lady? And they're like, no. So that gave me this edge. So I had this albino lady story.
After hearing all these facts of the albino woman, you may be interested in investigating things.
The gates are closed after dark, and the cemetery is under sheriff surveillance, and she's not Topeka. So before you investigate, think about this beautiful cemetery and be courteous. Signing off for SVTV, this has been Hayden Ford
And Brett Smith.
Like Brett and Hayden said, you may be, but there are other ghosts in Topeka, so please be courteous and respect the cemetery and its property. Next, we had a couple of reporters make a short, scary film. We warn you, this film is rated R for ridiculously good.
god! Oh my god, you scared me so badly, you have no idea.
Jeez, Jordan, somebody's a little jumpy. Ah, just me.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you come up.
But I should probably get going because I have a tennis meet tomorrow morning.
Hey, well thanks for coming over. Yeah, I really don't like being here alone.
Hey, don't have any strange boys over. I'll see you later.
I'll see you later.
Okay then.
Oh, Oscar.
There you go, you are so cute.
Oh wait, a towel. Oh, Oscar, you can't come out. Sorry. Oh my god!
That is what is wrong? What is wrong? Get in here before. Are you? Well, I tell you, that's the last time we're leaving you at home. I told you when you go to those scary movies, you're gonna have nightmares and stuff. What are you trying to knife us to death too? What's the knife for?
Wow, that movie really gave me the heebie-jeebies. For our last report, I will be trying to debunk some myths that have been told throughout the years. Hi, I'm Dustin Bolesky, and I'm going to try to debunk the Bloody Mary myth. The Bloody Mary myth states that if you call Bloody Mary 3 times in a darkened bathroom, she'll appear in the mirror and scratch your face off. Here it goes. Bloody Mary! Bloody Mary! Bloody Mary! Damn, I'm just kidding, that didn't work. There's a myth that if you lock the keys in your car and you have a remote key, you can call the person with the spare key and have them point it through your cell phone. And if you hold your phone close to your car, it should unlock your car. I'm going to see if that's true. There's a myth about a song called Gloomy Sunday. It was written in 1932 by Hungarian Saras. When the song made it to the United States, it became known as the Hungarian suicide song. There are many cases of suicide following the hearing of the song. Well, I don't really believe that, so I'm going to listen to it and see what happens.
Little white flower, echo of sorrow has taken you. Angels have no thought of ever.
No, I don't really want to kill myself now. It was just a really bad song, but you want to listen to it? Alright.
Thought of joining you.
Pretty bad.
Blue.
You can't always believe everything you hear. Well, that's all we have for this week. We hope that you learn more about some popular stories. Make sure you tune in for our next show, which will be coming to you in a couple of weeks. Signing off for SBTV, I'm Dustin Bileski. Have a great night.